What's up, YouTube? I hope each and every one of you guys are healthy and enjoying life today. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the 2025 Chevy Tahoe RST. Huge thank you to ky.hymes over at Koons, Tysons, Chevy GMC for allowing me to do this video for you guys today. If you are interested in this particular Tahoe RST or any GM product with the exception of Cadillac, then I'll be sure to have Kai's information on screen as well as in the description box down below. But with that said, let's get into the video. Man, I feel a bit rusty. It has been a few months since I filmed review videos consistently, so bear with me as I try to get throughout today's video. I've been dealing with some health stuff behind the scenes. I am doing okay, for those of you who were wondering. I've been missing filming reviews. I just had to take a couple of steps back just to kind of deal with life. So thank you all who are asking if I am okay. I am okay, and I am back to doing consistent reviews from now on. So thank you guys for waiting around. I'm back, but just like usual, first, I'm going to talk about the exterior and the performance. So like I said, this is a 2025 Chevy Tahoe RST, and this particular one's been painted in black. I wanted to preface this video by saying for 2025, the Tahoe was refreshed inside and out with more modern exterior looks, updated interior technology, a better suspension setup, and a few other things. But starting up here at the front end, this particular one's been optioned with the $2,260 comfort package, which gives you the LED headlights with animated lighting. You'll see the animated lights with the turn signals. But as standard, you get IntelliBeam, which is your automatic high beams. You also get LED daytime running lights, LED turn signals, and LED fog lights, again, all as standard. Now, the RST is the sporty trim level in the Tahoe lineup. So with that in mind, you get the gloss black front grille that is massive, by the way, and then you have your black bow tie logo located at the center of the grille. New for 2025, you now get that forward-facing camera with the 360-degree view camera system as standard with the RST trim level. Now, speaking of safety features, you also get 6 forward-facing sensors as standard as well. When you come down, speaking of stylistic traits, you also get that satin black lower grille here that does encompass your fog lights. And last but not least, the RST gets 8.3 inches of ground clearance. Now, to summarize the refresh of the 2025 Tahoe, I think it is subtle yet just enough to differentiate it from the 2021 to 2024 model years. I think it looks great, and it follows in the footsteps of the Traverse's design language, which kind of looks more truck-like for the 2025 model year. And honestly, in my personal opinion, I think they knocked both the Traverse and the Tahoe out of the park. And my favorite angle of this is the rear 3/4 shot, which I will show you here in a minute. Looks very Escalade-like, just like the 21 to 2024 model years. Now, coming on down the side, as mentioned at the beginning of the video, for 2025, you get a revised suspension setup. So when I was driving this from the dealership to the spot where I do my filming, I did notice the revised suspension. I didn't do any studying up on this vehicle before I even got into it, but I definitely noticed the feel of the suspension. It's more comfortable, less body roll, and there was not even much body roll from the 21 to 24 model year, but this just takes it up a notch and it makes it handle just that much better. Now, if the standard suspension is not enough for you, you could take a look at the $6,680 RST capability package, which is going to give you the optional air suspension that works with the magnetic ride control suspension. That is essentially the same suspension setup that you would get on an Escalade Sport Platinum. So very nice suspension setup on a vehicle that costs nearly half as much. Now, coming down just a little bit, these are the standard wheels that you get with the RST, and they are 22-inch gloss black with machine face wheels, and the wheels are wrapped in 275/50 Bridgestone Alenza AS02 tires. These are all-season tires, and if you're not a fan of the way that these wheels look, there are 8 other wheel options. I do want to, though, give you a view of the tread pattern on these tires here real quick. I apologize that the vehicle is dirty. I tried to bring it into the car wash, but the car wash at the dealership was messed up, so hence why it is a bit dirty. Now, as standard with this thing, you also get rain sensing wipers. And speaking of standard features, I'm going to break the mirrors up into 2 categories. First part is going to be what you get as standard. The second part is what this one has been optioned with. So as standard, you get body color mirror caps, and the mirrors are heated. You get your blind spot monitoring on the upper left-hand side of your driver's side mirror and on the upper right-hand side of your passenger side mirror. You also get The cameras at the bottom of both of your side mirrors, again, those work with your 360-degree view camera system. But again, this one has been optioned with the comfort package. So the comfort package gives you the power folding side view mirrors. The driver's side mirror is now auto dimming with the comfort package. You also get memory settings. So you get the, I think it's 2 or 3 memory seat adjustment settings. So you get 2 memory seat adjustment settings. Not only is it going to memorize the driver's seat settings, it also memorizes the outer mirror settings as well. And last but not least, with the comfort package, you also get the puddle light at the bottom of both of your side view mirrors. Now, up top here, you can see you have your body color antenna. A couple gloss black bits that you get with the RST include the gloss black roof rails, the gloss black window trim, as well as the gloss black Tahoe lettering on both the driver and the front passenger doors. As standard, you get body color door handles with keyless access. The keyless access button is right here. You can see that chrome button. That is the button you would press to either unlock and or lock the vehicle. And last but not least, found at the bottom of all of your passenger doors, you get those black assist steps. And that's kind of about it here for the side profile. Side profile, this looks very similar to the 2021 to the 2024 model year. Not very many changes here on the side, more so up front and at the rear, which we will get into here in the next minute or so. Now on the driver's side, you press that is going to reveal your filler neck. 87 octane will do you just fine with the 5.3, but if you option this with the 6.2 liter, I do believe it does ask for 93 octane or premium fuel. Up top here, you have your body color shark fin antenna with your integrated third brake light. Your wiper does hide up underneath there, so it is an integrated wiper, so you don't get that ugly wiper that would be right here. One thing that is nice about the Tahoes, Yukons, and Escalades is that they have this upper glass piece that does open up. You can either open up the glass piece from the button on the key fob, or you can come underneath here. You have that button, press on that, and that will also open up that rear glass piece, so you could send lumber through there. You could also have your dog breathe the air, although this is a low pressure zone, so maybe it would be sucking in that carbon dioxide. I don't know. Nonetheless, you could open this up on a road trip if you are driving on the beach. Now, as mentioned, this one's been optioned with the comfort package. So you get the animated LED taillights, and as mentioned probably a minute or 3 ago, I said this was my favorite angle of the Tahoe. This looks very Escalade-like to me back here, especially with that tinted taillight design. I think it looks absolutely fantastic. And it's a subtle change, but it looks much, much better than the 21 to the 2024 model year. Again, just my personal opinion. Now, speaking of the RST, again, this gives you a bunch of gloss black exterior bits. So you do get the gloss black exterior badging back here with the Tahoe lettering. You also get the black bow tie emblem right there. You have your RST badging. Underneath your H, that is where you will find your backup camera. That is a spray nozzle for the backup camera. And then you do get a power lift gate as standard. Put your hand underneath there and the lift gate will open up. You can either do that, you can also open it up from the key fob by pressing this button twice. You can also open it up from the interior as well. Now, taking a look at what we got going on here in the trunk area, you can see from the trunk opening to the seat back, I'd say you probably get about 2.5 feet of storage space. However, if you need an additional about 3.5 feet of storage space, you do get the power folding third row seats. So you have these two buttons here. L is for left, R is for right. Press down on both of them and that will drop the second or third row seats, excuse me. So then you can see with the third row seats down, you probably get maybe 4.5 feet of storage space with the seats down, and then width-wise, you probably get about 4 feet. So very good amount of storage space back here. And then one other thing though, is that if you press these two buttons here, these two buttons are an option, and that will run you $370. That is the power release second row seats. You press both of those buttons twice, or you can press them individually, and that will drop either one side or both sides. However, it will not raise that second row seats, or those second row seats up. And then you also get a household power outlet back here as well, followed by a little bit of storage space. I would say it's probably about 1.5 inches deep, so you can fit your gloves back here, maybe a couple snacks, maybe you can fit your jumper cables or stuff like that back here, but really not that much storage space up underneath here. But it is nice if you do have certain things that you do want to set back here. You also get a light as well. But really, that's kind of about it for what we got going on in the trunk area. Press that button and the trunk will begin to close. That's the speed in which the trunk closes. And we're gonna finish things off here at the rear end. So as mentioned at the front, you get 6 front sensors. You also get 6 parking sensors back here as well. One thing I love about the RST, and I believe that this is new for 2025, don't hold me to this. However, I do know on the 21 to the 24 Tahoes, I believe you had to get the Premier in order to get the quad tip exhaust. Now the RST comes with the quad tip exhaust. I don't believe it was like that for the 21 to the 24 model year. Again, don't hold me to that. A couple mechanical bits and features you might want to know if you're a nerd like me. You get a single speed transfer case, which I think this should come standard with a 2-speed transfer case, basically meaning this only has 4-wheel drive high and 2-wheel drive high. It does not have 4-wheel drive low. However, you can get 4-wheel drive low as an option. Another thing I wanted to mention, this has a mechanical limited slip differential with a 3:23 rear axle ratio. And if you have a boat side by side or a race car, you get a max tow capacity of 7,700 pounds. So not only can this thing carry your family to and from sporting events, school, work, etc., you can also go to the drag strip, you can also go to the beach, and you can have your family with their luggage in the back of the truck with your family again in the vehicle, and you can be towing your boat behind you. So this thing really is the jack of all trades. I do love myself a Tahoe, tons of storage space in here, and they are so practical. It's just the fuel economy is not the greatest, but if you got the money for this thing, you probably have the money for the fuel as well, which leads me into my next point. Now let's talk about performance. Popping open that hood reveals the standard 5.3 liter naturally aspirated V8 that produces 355 horsepower and 383 pound-feet of torque. It's mated to a 10-speed automatic transmission for a 0 to 60 time in 7 seconds. And if you were wondering about fuel economy, you can achieve 15 miles per gallon in the city, 19 miles per gallon on the highway for 17 miles per gallon combined with 4-wheel drive. Now, one thing that is nice about the RST is that it offers you 3 power plants to choose from. As you can see, this one's been spec'd with the standard 5.3 liter V8, but they also offer you the 3 liter Duramax diesel, which if you're looking for fuel economy, the Duramax is the way to go. But if you are looking for power, they also offer the 6.2 liter naturally aspirated V8, which if you want the power and the sound, the 6.2 is the way to go. But if you're enjoying the video so far today, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. I'm on my journey to 100,000 subscribers, but for right now, I'm trying to hit 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So if you're enjoying the video, if you've learned anything thus far, please just take a second to like, comment, and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Helps me get one step closer to my dreams. Each and every like, comment, and subscription, I'd appreciate it. But with that stuff out of the way, let's move into the interior. Moving on into the interior, as mentioned earlier, you get keyless access as standard. So all you have to do is have your key fob in your pocket, walk up to the vehicle, press this button right here, and it will unlock. You can press that very same button again, and it will lock right back up. This is what the key fob looks like. It's satin black with some chrome accenting, and on the flip side, you have your different functions. So you have your unlock and your lock functions, you have your remote start function, your power liftgate function, that upper glass pop function there, and your panic function. Now, if you wanted to remote start this, all you have to do is press this button, press this twice, and it will fire right up. And that is what it sounds like when you fire the 5.3 up from the exterior's perspective. Now let's see what the interior of this particular RST has to offer. So this one's been spec'd with the jet black leather with the Victory red accent colored stitching. We'll get more into that here in a second. I do want to start on our driver door panel. So at the top of the door panel, you get some leatherette material with the Victory red accent colored stitching. You have your door handle, your unlock and your lock functions, and with the comfort package, you get the 2 memory seat adjustment settings. Coming down just a little bit more, you have your power side view mirror controls. That right there is going to restrict your passenger window privileges. And then with the comfort package, again, you get the power folding side view mirrors, which you would press that right there. Now, as standard, you get automatic up and down windows in the front. You only get automatic down windows in the back. You get a nicely padded armrest, some Victory red accent colored stitching, a spot you can set a phone, storage space, a water bottle holder, and again, with the comfort package, you get the 10-speaker Bose sound system, which sounds very, very nice. You also get the brushed aluminum Chevrolet door sill, which I will try to pick up on camera, but you get the gist of what that looks like there. Now, this one being a $70,000 plus vehicle, MSRP will be revealed later on in the video. As standard, you get power adjustable front seats, and again, they are also heated as standard as well. Here's a closer view of what these seats look like. Now, Stepping on into the interior. Push button has been moved down to here from up here, so press that and then we're gonna have full access here into the interior. Okay, so you may notice what is new for the 2025 model year, but we will get into that here in a second because I do want to start over here. So first things first, you get the HVAC vent, then you have your emergency brake here. That is for your lane keeping system on or off. This is to turn the parking sensors on or off. This is to turn the auto stop start system on or off. You get your traction control button on or off. This is going to pop up your 360-degree view camera system over here on the infotainment system. By the way, largest in class infotainment system. And then this is for your automatic park assist. Basically, it will parallel or perpendicular park you into a parking spot on both sides of the vehicle. Again, that is the button for that there. Now, as mentioned when I was at the rear of the vehicle, this thing has a single speed transfer case, meaning you do not get four-wheel drive low, you only get four-wheel drive high. So you get two-wheel high, four-wheel high, and four-wheel automatic. This is to put you into your terrain mode. So you can see you do have to be in 4 high or 4 low if equipped in order to go into terrain mode. But nonetheless, beneath that, you have your drive mode selector. It's more of like a drive mode dial. You have 4 different drive modes. So I'm gonna flip it to the left. It should pop up here on the infotainment system, the different drive modes. But I do believe you get like normal mode. Here, I might have to go into here first. Now let's try it. So you have your normal mode, you have your sport mode, your off-road mode, and your tow haul mode. And you can see the different animations dependent on which drive mode you are in. I'm gonna leave it in normal mode for right now, and it also gives you a little explanation of when you would use normal mode and stuff like that. I apologize, my voice is a little scratchy. I do have a sinus infection. And then down here, you have these controls to brighten and or dim the gauge cluster as well as the backlit buttons. And then you have your headlight control knob down here all the way to the right, headlights on, daytime running lights on, headlights automatic, and then that is to turn the fog lights on or off. Now coming to the bottom of the steering wheel, if you flip that down, that gives you access into your manual tilting and telescoping steering wheel. You can push the steering wheel away from you, you can bring it toward you. It also moves up and down, and then lock it right back into its position once you find your comfortable position. But now let's take a listen to the turn signal. Not only is this your turn signal control stock, it is also your windshield wiper control stock. So this is to turn the wipers onto high. This is for, I believe, your rear wiper. Flip all the way down to wash the rear wiper or the rear windshield. And then pressing on this is going to wash the front windshield. So that is that. You can see we have a new steering wheel for the 2025 model year. So just like any other vehicle, you have your horn at the center of the steering wheel. Let's take a listen. That is what the horn sounds like here on the RST. Another thing I wanted to show you is that on the back side of the left-hand side of the steering wheel, you have your tuning controls followed by your downshift paddle. And on the right-hand side, you have your upshift paddle. And on the backhand side, you have your volume control knob, or your volume controls. One thing that is nice about the RST is that it does come standard with adaptive cruise control. So here are your adaptive cruise control settings. Now this is to put you into your low mode. So let's say we go into drive. By the way, you also get a new shifter for the 2025 model year. Pull back and down, that is to put you into drive. Press that L right there and it will put you into low mode. Back out of low mode, we're gonna go to the right-hand side of the steering wheel. One thing that is pretty nice about this vehicle is that if you press on this, turn driver heated seat on.
Sure, turning on the seat heater for the driver.
Basically, you can tell the vehicle what you want it to do. Turn driver heated seat off.
Sure, turning off the seat heater for the driver.
So that's just one example that you can do by the push to talk vehicle button right there. If you have your phone connected to wireless Apple CarPlay and you press and hold on that, that will pop up Siri. Now you can see that music button right there. That's going to pop up your different audio sources here on your 11-inch digital gauge cluster. Now if you push up, that is to pick up on a phone call. If you push down, that is to hang up on a phone call. And then these controls here are to control your 11-inch digital gauge cluster. Obviously, as mentioned, you get a heated steering wheel as standard. You get one level of adjustability with the heated steering wheel. And then this button right here with the 2 boxes and the arrows, that is to switch you between your different layouts here on your digital gauge cluster. You, by the way, have 5 different layouts for the 2025 Tahoe. So this is the screen that when I first jumped into the vehicle was on. So basically, you have your tachometer, then you have your digital speedometer readout at the center, coolant temperature gauge, fuel gauge, speed limit sign, ambient exterior temperature, audio stuff. This lets you know who's buckled, who's not buckled, transmission status stuff, odometer, transfer case stuff, status. Then you have your fuel range, time, temperature, date, and then that is your compass again. Now again, to control what you see on that screen, you have this button right here. So if you click on that, that's going to bring you into this secondary screen. You can see the layout looks a little bit different. Do that one more time, then you can have your Google Maps stuff there at the center. Then you have a different layout here. This is your calm screen, and then last but not least, it brings you back into the screen that we were already on. Very easy to use system here. Really does not take that much getting used to. You literally click this, you click that, or you click this control here, and that is basically the gist of the digital gauge cluster. Very easy to use. Now, coming over to here, this is the largest in-class infotainment system, and it is a 17.7-inch infotainment system with built-in navigation and wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto connectivity. I think this looks much better, you know, situated in the dash as compared to the 21 to 2024 Tahoe. I think this looks much cleaner. Again, that's just my personal opinion. You can let me know your thoughts in the comments down below on the layout of the new screen. But nonetheless, this is what the screen looks like. I love how you have the physical volume control knob over here. If you want to mute it, you just, I believe, click up top here, and that is to mute or unmute the audio system. And then you can see you have your different shortcuts up top here to shortcut you into your home screen, which is what we're on right now. This is like a secondary screen. I'm going to leave it on the home screen. Then you got your shortcut into music, nav, phone, or your different controls. So you have your child safety locks, your camera system, or you also have your auto park assist. So that is what this button does right here, and that is what that button does up top there. Same kind of button, just in two different spots. And then you have your time, and then you also have your ambient exterior temperature out there on the upper right hand side of the screen. You get your vehicle status stuff. My Chevrolet, you can set service appointments, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, auto park assist we went over, basically can parallel or perpendicular park you in a parking spot. And then you got your 360-degree view camera system. You got a different camera views there. You got your trailering stuff. You can pop up your climate control throughout the entire screen up top here. So this is what the climate control screen looks like on the screen up top here. Now, one thing I really like about the new Tahoes is not only do you get the controls for the climate control on the bottom of the screen, but you also get the physical climate control stack down here as well. Now, that is some mistakes that some of the manufacturers have been making, BMW in particular, is that they only give you the climate controls in the screen, and that is because they want you to start using the talk to control everything. But I personally like my physical controls, so GM, thank you for leaving the physical climate controls. You get a 10 out of 10 here in the 703 speed book of vehicles. And then you get a Wi-Fi hotspot, just like the other Tahoes and all the other things you can see on screen now. So this is the secondary screen, this is the home screen, and then last but not least, you can flip that down, and that is kind of like your notification menu. And then again, you have all your different climate control stuff down here. Now, one thing that I had noticed is that the heated seat controls are only on the screen themselves. You still get the back control only, or you can have your back and your butt be heated, but nonetheless, the heated seat controls are only on the screen. But this is what the physical controls look, or the controls throughout the screen look like. You do get the physical controls down here. Now, moving on from that screen, you have your two HVAC vents, your hazard button. Again, you have your physical climate controls down here. One thing that is nice about this vehicle is that you do get a wireless charging pad as standard. That is an iPhone 14 Pro Max. One of the bigger phones on the market, has no problem fitting down in the wireless charging pad. You also get a USB-C port and a USB-A port. A little bit of storage space. You can set your key fob down there as well. Now, coming back just a little bit, you get two cup holders. You get a little bit of storage space down here, just like the older model Tahoes. I think you get the same thing on this side as well. Down in there, you can set like, you know, manila folder or folders, stuff like that. And then you have your glove box here with the red accent colored stitching, or excuse me, your center console. Same center console as last year. You still get the divider, and you still get the USB-A port and the USB-C ports. So, as well as an LED light down in there. Closing that back up, this is what the passenger side looks like. I love the layout of the new dash. I think it looks much better. And again, you have the new shifter here. If you wanted to go into reverse, pull back, push up, that's reverse. You want to go into drive, you pull back, you push down, that's forward. Pull back, that's neutral. And then push P on the end of that stalk, and that's going to put you into park. Now, coming over to here, you get a lockable lower glove box, which with quite a bit of storage space down in that glove box. You have your auto dimming rear view mirror. Now there is an option that you can get the digital rear view mirror. There also is an option for a head-up display system. This one has not been optioned with the head-up display system, but I will put the package of what you have to get in order to get the head-up display system on screen now, as well as the option that you have to get in order to get the digital rear view mirror on screen now as well. Get your OnStar stuff up top here. This is going to let you know if the passenger airbag is on or off. This right here is for your basically like the shade. So this particular vehicle has been optioned with the $1,500 panoramic sunroof. This is going to control the shade. If you want to slide the sunroof, you push up on this and this is going to slide the sunroof back. However, if you just want to tilt the sunroof up like that, all you got to do is come over to here, you push up on that, and that is going to tilt the sunroof up. And then push that back down, and that is going to close the sunroof back up. Both of your lights here are LED. This is whether you want the lights to turn on or not when you open up the door. So when that amber light is illuminated, when I open up the door, the interior lights will not turn on. However, when that amber light is not illuminated, when I open up the doors, the interior lights will turn on. And then again, you can power fold and drop your third row seats with these buttons here. And then you have your button in between those two with the dial. You can either have your power liftgate be off, it can open up 3/4 of the way, or you can open it up all the way, and then you just press on that to open it or close the power liftgate. Opening this thing up, you get a visor with your vanity mirror with your 2 vanity lights, and then this does slide in and out for when the sun is in those awkward positions. Last but not least, the driver gets a no poop handle, as does the front passenger, though the front passenger also gets an a grab handle on the A-pillar. Now, seat comfort wise, these seats are actually comfortable. I almost feel like GM has made their seats more comfortable in recent times. I feel like there's just a little bit more padding here as compared to some of the older Tahoe models. I feel like the older Tahoe models, their seats got a little bit too firm for me, but nonetheless, these seats are very comfortable, and I can do a long road trip here with these Tahoe seats. Now, a couple things I wanted to mention again. This particular one's been optioned with the $2,260 comfort package, which again is going to give you the memory driver's seat and side view mirrors, the 10-speaker Bose sound system, the heated steering wheel, the heated second row seats, and the power second and third row seat drop. So it will drop and raise the third row seats. It'll drop the second row seats. And a couple things you get as standard. You get the heated front seats, the power front seats, the adaptive cruise control, the wireless charging pad, the 360-degree view camera system, the tri-zone climate control system, just a couple things to name a few. Now, if you do want a fully loaded model, you might want to look into getting the advanced technology package. The advanced technology package requires a few other packages to go along with that. So in total, that package is going to cost you $11,400. But if you want a fully loaded RST, that is the package that you're going to want to look into getting. Now I'm just going to throw the entire window sticker on screen. You can take a look at everything that you get as standard, the couple options that this particular one has, but basically I am just going to highlight the MSRP. So the MSRP of the way that this particular 2025 Tahoe RST is spec'd is $75,625. That is a ton of money, but you get a lot for your money. I mean, you really don't need much more than what we have in here. You know, 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, this was considered a fully loaded model. Now there are 3 trim levels above this with even more features than this. Now they also have Super Cruise, which is a hands-free driving system, etc. But having adaptive cruise control as standard is a nice feature. Now I do want to show you what we got going on here in the second and the third row seats before moving into the driving portion of the video. So as mentioned, you get the automatic down windows back here, and they do go all the way down. They are not automatic up. Then you have your unlock and your lock buttons back here. You get a nicely padded armrest, a spot you can set a phone, and some more storage space down there. Now this is what these second row seats look like. If you pull up on this thing, the seat will go forwards and or backwards. If you pull up twice on this, this is what it will do. And then you also can pull up on this, and that gives you easier access there into the third row. But for right now, all I want to do is basically sit in this seat. So I'm going to scoot that back, sit back here. I'm going to lock the vehicle. So now all the doors are locked. Definitely a nice feature if you have kids. You get an HVAC vent up top here. You have your dome light. You have a spot you could set your dry cleaning, as well as an O-poop handle here. You get a seat back pocket behind the driver's seat. You also get a seat back pocket behind the passenger seat. I am 5'9" and I am adjusted behind myself. I've got plenty of knee and leg room. 2 cup holders. You have your tri-zone climate control system here. The comfort package gives you the heated outboard second row seats. You get 3 levels of adjustability with those second row seats. You also get 2 USB-C ports. And then down here, you have your household power outlet. Not sure how well it is going to pick up on camera. This also does have these armrests here, though I wish I could lock them in certain places, but they're just kind of floppy. You can also recline these seats as well if you want to. Tons of reclinability, very comfortable seats. It is a family vehicle after all. I do want to show you, last but not least, what we got going on here in the third row. So again, 5'9", adjusted behind myself. We kind of split the difference here. I'm comfortable sitting behind myself and behind myself. You also get a USB-C port, a cup holder, a little bit of storage space. Same stuff on that side as well. HVAC vent, and your 2 dome lights back here. So if you have a big family, let's say you have 4 kids, the Tahoe will do you just fine. Not only are you gonna have the space for the kids, you're also gonna have the space for the cargo. And again, you can tow your boat or your side-by-sides behind you as well. So this is the jack of all trades. Very, very nice vehicle if you can stomach the fuel economy. But nonetheless, this is probably one of the greatest vehicles you can buy if you do road trips. So, you know, we talked about the exterior, we talked about the performance, and now we talked about what's going on here in the interior. So I want to see what this thing's like to drive, as I'm assuming you guys do as well. So I'll see you guys in the driver's seat. All right, now on to the driving portion of the video. Take a listen. I don't know what it is about the new Tahoe, but for some reason, it feels like it is much more powerful than the previous year's Tahoe. It feels like it puts the power down just much better. And I don't know what's causing that, but it just feels like it is much more powerful, much quicker off the line. And the suspension is also much better feeling as well. I mean, that was just one thing that just driving it from where I was at the dealership to the spot where I film my videos, I noticed that right off the bat. I mean, the suspension just handled much, much better. And it was just something just very, very noticeable right off the bat. And I hadn't even researched it in. I didn't even know that they made any sort of suspension adjustments until I looked that up. But I could just tell. It just feels much more solid. And it just feels like it handles much more plush, would probably be a good word for it. It just goes over bumps much smoother, though here, pardon the camera moving around just a little bit, though it did go over bumps well previously. It seems like it just handles just a little bit better now as compared to the 21 to 24 model years. Now, one thing I don't like is the auto stop start system, but you can turn that off. I just haven't done that yet. Take a listen. I also feel like they smoothed out the 10-speed automatic as well. It feels like it's shifting much better, and that was always kind of my complaint, not only with like the Tahoes and the Suburbans and the Silverados and stuff, but also with like the Ford F-150s and Expeditions, because they also use the 10-speed automatic. However, it seems like, at least here with the new Tahoe, it seems much, much smoother and much more buttery in between the shifts, whereas before it was really this thud, 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 and just not very good feeling in between shifts. But here's a little acceleration. The shifts are much better. And there's on some of the older models, like when you would shift and you would let off the throttle, it would go like boom into the next gear. And that is not what it has been doing today. And that was something I always noticed right off the bat with the 10 speeds in the Tahoes and stuff, is that it would always just, it wouldn't shift very well. But now that is different, and it seems like it does shift much, much better now. And it didn't say anything about transmission tuning, but here's a little acceleration. Take a listen to what it sounds like cruising at about 70. very well insulated from the outside world. I mean, it just cruises very nicely. I do wish there was a little bit more sound deadening. Maybe if I close the shade up top there, it might be a little bit quieter here, but nonetheless, it seems like it is very quiet here on the interior. Drives very, very smoothly, going over bumps. I mean, the suspension is just much smoother. I feel like, you know, there are just those little bumps and imperfections on the road that it just seems to not feel going over them anymore. And this doesn't even have the adaptive air ride suspension with the magnetic ride control. Now that comes with the RST capability package, so if you did want an even better riding suspension, one that is adjustable, one that you can raise up and down, you know, I guess you could say ground clearance wise, that would be the system you might want to look into getting. But that is like a $6,200 or $6,600 option. I'll put it on screen right now, but that will give you you know, just a couple little incremental adjustments. You can adjust the stiffness between normal mode and sport mode. You're going to feel that it's going to handle a little bit better around turns. Nonetheless, this standard suspension still handles very well. I don't feel like you really need the air ride suspension, but if you got the extra dough for it, why not, right? I also feel like throttle response seems to be much better as well. Is this guy going to let me go? Yes, he is. I'm going to go all the way across. The throttle response is much better as compared to like the 2021 to 2024. I just feel like when I put my foot down just a little bit into the throttle, it's just ready to go. Whereas I feel like it was kind of maybe a bit lazier beforehand. It just didn't have as much instant throttle response, whereas it does now, which I appreciate that. Let's check out the turning radius here. Excellent turning radius. I mean, if you're going to be doing any sort of towing, this thing has got that turning radius to do towing. If you're, you know, picking up your kids from the carpool line, it has a very tight turning radius, so you don't really have to worry about this thing being big and bulbous and a headache to drive in parking lots and stuff, because it's just got that really tight turning radius, which makes a big difference, you know, when maneuvering in tight parking situations or stuff like that. So just a very nice vehicle. I love the new interior. I love the new dash layout. It looks much better integrated into the dash as compared to the 2021 to 2024 model year. I think the other one just kind of looks stuck on there, whereas this one looks much better integrated into the dash, again, in my personal opinion. Seats are also very comfortable. I love the driving position here in the Tahoe. It feels like I'm sitting in like a 1500 series truck. I feel safe. I feel solid. It's just a very, very nice vehicle. I also really like the truck rugged appearance of the refresh here, which also, by the way, looks very good on the Traverse as well. So I think GM did a great job here with the 2025 model refresh. You can let me know your thoughts and opinions on the 2025 Tahoe refresh in the comment section down below. I'm curious to hear what your guys' opinions are. Yeah, that's it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy the video, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. I'm on my journey to 100,000 subscribers, and I cannot reach my goal without your support. But before I hit 100, I got to hit 50,000 subscribers before the end of the year, and I would really appreciate each and every one of you guys to just take a second to like, comment, and subscribe. Each like, each comment, each subscription gets me one step closer to achieving my dreams. So I would appreciate it if you would do those 3 things. But again, that is it for today's video. I will catch you all in the next one. Peace!